Hello, GE. My name is Michelle Rutherford-Smith, and welcome to my home. So I'm submitting this video for GE's Greatest American Grandma. My children have been Facebooking, emailing, Snapchatting, Instagram, you name it today, and I've gotten messages from my children letting me know that if I do not submit a video by 11:59 p.m., they may disown me, and I don't want to be disowned. So with that said, I just want to say that I am so blessed. I have had 6 amazing children, as well as 5 grandchildren. I have 2 granddaughters, Emily and Kylie, and I have 3 grandsons who are Gabriel, Jaden, and Ashton. So I would like to talk to you a little bit about me and my family and our traditions. So for me, being a grandmother is the most amazing thing on the planet. Being a mother was amazing, but man, being a grandmother, wow, that is so awesome. So today's grandmother is a little bit different than the grandmother that we remember and know of past. My grandmother, she was amazing. She was what I call a blue hair. So her hair was perfect blue, kind of gray, platinum, absolutely gorgeous. My grandma would not leave the house without her rings on, her jewelry on, dressed to the nines. Her hair had to be perfect. Her makeup had to be on, and she could not go to church on Sunday without her Sunday gloves. So that's kind of where I learned how to be a grandmother. So I live in Hickory, North Carolina, and I live close to or by, at least within 2.5 hours of my children and most of my grandchildren. I have 2 grandchildren in Colorado that I get for the summers, and I FaceTime with or face chat with every day or as much as I can on Facebook. Today's new age grandmother is busy. You know, we are very busy. We have professional lives and careers. We are on the go. We have families. We have animals. We have children, and we have grandchildren, and lots of them. So we are either raising or help raising somebody at any given time. Sometimes it's even our husbands. But with that said, let's talk a little bit about tradition. So for me, my family has always shown their love and their culture through food, and artistry and artistic means. For me, that means artist comes through me for my food. Because that's what I love and have my passion for. So in my family, everyone seemed to always gather around the kitchen. And it didn't matter if someone was cooking, if someone was doing homework, and someone was eating on a celery stick, it just really didn't matter. Our love has always been portrayed through food. For instance, let's talk about one of our traditions that we've been doing for many years is popcorn strings. I added cranberry to our popcorn strings when my girls were little, and still do today. Nothing makes me happier than when I can sit here and be with my children as we sit here and do popcorn strings together. We get our needle and our string and our popcorn. And yes, our popcorn is cooked on the stove in a pot with oil, traditionally, not in a microwave. And then we make our popcorn strings. And this year, it was kind of funny because my daughter, Brianna, she actually got her popcorn string tangled up more than she actually got popcorn and cranberries on it. So we had to help her a little bit. And my other daughter, her popcorn string was a little empty because one of my grandkids kept eating the popcorn off the popcorn string. Still made it to the tree though. Tradition still lives. Another tradition. Thanksgiving, have to have my great-great-grandmother's and my grandmother's recipe for orange cranberry relish. Yes, we also make that today. There's so many traditions that we have. But my family has always shown their love through gathering and love, hugging, and food. You know, we gather at special times and moments. My grandmother was the glue. We all met at her house, so it was my aunts and uncles and cousins and family, and man, was it great. And then after we all had children, we took our children and our spouses. So the family and the traditions just continued. Now that my grandmother is gone, that kind of stopped on that end. And now, with me being the one with all the children, everyone comes to my house. So I guess I get to be Ivana, my grandmother. And I am so blessed and so pleased to be able to do that. So now everyone comes here and we all sit around the big dining table. And I cook a turkey at Thanksgiving and, you know, have all this amazing food. And, of course, cranberry relish. Got to have grandma's relish and grandma's gravy. We do that. And then for Christmas, everyone comes to my house. So we all sit in a big pile and gather around with all the kids and grandkids and my adult children and my little grandchildren and open presents. And the tradition, it still continues. So traditions still continue, even though we are different and we have had to evolve because, admit it, the new generation has to emerge new trends. Those new trends are, let's see, 2-year-olds would much rather sit and play on an iPad than they would sit and watch Bugs Bunny, okay? I kind of like Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse, but there you go. So kids today, they don't want to run around catching fireflies and sit around with their grandparents, you know. They want to be on the go. Today's generation of kids and grandkids are on the go. So we have to be the grandmother who not only bakes the cookies, gives them the milk, kisses the boo-boos, rocks them to sleep, reads them stories, and has sleepovers in tents on beds. But these grandmas today, well, we have to be the Carowinds Busch Gardens going, roller coaster riding, cookie baking, chocolate making, hiking, biking, camping, jet skiing kind of grandmother on the go who's always ready at an even moment's notice. We have to be like there, right? So with that, we need to be evolved. So today's grandmother, we are, I guess you would say, untraditionally traditional, with new traditions of our own that we're going to pass down to our children and grandchildren. Do we still cook? Yes. Do we still love and hug? Yes. Do we still gather? Yes. We still do everything that our grandparents did, or at least this Mimi does, because I want nothing more than my children to remember me and my grandchildren to remember me the exact same way that I remember my amazing, most beautiful and beloved grandma. Her name was Ivona M. Yates, and she was absolutely amazing. And she taught me how to sew and how to cook and how to clean and how to snap beans and peas and all those amazing things that grandmas teach their grandchildren. And decoupage. Oh, and cross stitch. I never did learn how to knit, though. Guess I can't pass that one down. But that's okay because my daughters learned, and they're doing that for me. So I wear many hats. Today's grandmother, the new age, new generation grandmother, the American grandmother, wear many hats. I personally am a mother. I am a wife. I am a Mimi. I am a mother to fur babies. I rescue horses. And my last, other than chauffeur, I do that too. Oh, I'm also a teacher. But on top of that, what I do best when I am not a Mimi is I am an executive chef. I am very blessed to have followed in my grandmother's shoes. And I am an executive chef and CRC, a certified research chef who is in charge of recipe development and making it duplicatable and teaching it to the rest of the world. I teach and intern to children and grandchildren and adults and all kinds of people. And I got my love of cooking and my passion for cooking and teaching from my grandma. So there you have a little bit of me, my family, and our traditions, and we have many. Oh, there is one tradition that is new that I want to tell you about. Well, it's new to my generation, but it's not new to my family. For Thanksgiving, I give my children the option of having a turkey, traditional turkey, or Cornish game hens. And the reason we do that is that's a tradition in my family. Because once upon a time, when I was not blessed enough to have the luxuries that I have today and to be in a position, in a place where I am today, we didn't have much money. And I was raising 3 little girls all on my own. And with that said, I did not have the money on Thanksgiving to be able to go out and buy a turkey. Because back then, when my kids were little, turkeys were expensive, but Cornish game hens were not. So I took all the money I had and I went to the store and I bought Cornish game hens for my girls. And I made these Cornish game hens and I had corn and I had stuffing and I managed to make a form of my grandma's cranberry relish. But I made little chef hats like this one, and I put them on the ends of those little Cornish game hen legs. And my children felt so rich and so blessed and so amazed because those 3 little girls, they thought that they were the richest people in the world because their mom could afford to buy them each their very own individual turkey for Thanksgiving. Our tradition now at Thanksgiving is that many times we just want Cornish game hens to remember the past and remember tradition. And these are memories and traditions that my children will take with them, and my grandchildren and their children will take with them as well. All passed down from my grandmother and her grandmother and myself, Mimi. I'd like to thank you so very much for giving me the opportunity to make this submission. And I need to send it to you now because it's 10:01 and I don't want to be too sad. Again, my name is Michelle Rutherford-Smith, and I am Mimi. I am the New Age Grandma. Have an absolutely amazing evening. Ciao, Bella.